Roman Abramovich's story begins in the harsh, unforgiving landscape of the Soviet Union, a place where survival often depended on resilience and luck. His early life was marked by profound tragedy, losing both parents before he was even 4 years old, leaving him an orphan in a society that offered little comfort or support. Raised by relatives in modest Soviet apartments, Abramovich's childhood was shaped by scarcity and uncertainty, a world away from the luxury and power he would one day command. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 unleashed chaos and opportunity in equal measure, as the old system crumbled and a new, unpredictable era began. Sensing the winds of change, Abramovich seized the moment. He started with small trading companies, hustling in street markets and quickly learning the ruthless new rules of capitalism that swept through Russia. His big break came with the controversial acquisition of Sibneft, a state oil giant, through the infamous loans for shares scheme, a deal that would forever change his fortunes and reputation. This bold move vaulted him into the exclusive ranks of Russia's new oligarchs, men who amassed staggering wealth and influence as the old order gave way to a new elite. Abramovich's rise was a masterclass in timing, ambition, and adaptability, as he built a vast business empire in the cracks of a collapsing system, always staying one step ahead of rivals. He became a true power player, commanding the attention of presidents, forging alliances with politicians, and helping to shape the very future of post-Soviet Russia. His journey from orphan to oligarch is a testament to relentless drive, sharp instincts, and an uncanny sense for opportunity, qualities that would define his legacy. But for Abramovich, Russia was just the beginning. Soon, his ambitions would find a new global stage, and the world would come to know his name. In the summer of 2003, the football world was rocked by a move that would change the game forever. Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich, a figure shrouded in mystery, arrived in London and bought Chelsea FC almost overnight. At the time, Chelsea was a club with a proud history but a troubled present. Burdened by mounting debt, struggling to compete with the established giants of English football and facing an uncertain future. Abramovich's purchase was swift and decisive. For £140 million, he took control of the club, and in a single stroke, he wiped out Chelsea's debts, signalling a new era of ambition and financial power. What followed was a transfer spree that sent shockwaves through English football. World-class players arrived in droves, and a charismatic new manager, Jose Mourinho, was brought in to lead the revolution. Chelsea's transformation was dramatic. The club went from hopeful underdogs to ruthless contenders, with a new culture that demanded nothing less than victory on every front. Unlike many owners, Abramovich was a constant presence at matches. He was seen cheering, celebrating, and living every moment with the fans, making it clear he was more than just a distant billionaire. Chelsea quickly became a magnet for global talent. Players from all over the world were drawn to the club, and with them came soaring expectations and a new sense of possibility. Second place was no longer good enough. Chelsea was now built to win everything: domestic titles, European glory, and a place among football's elite. The purchase marked Abramovich's leap from shadowy oligarch to global football icon, his name now synonymous with ambition and success. Football gave Abramovich a new identity, a passionate fan with the power to shape the destiny of a club and inspire millions. He had found a new kingdom in West London, and he was determined to make it the most glorious in the land, whatever it took. The quiet oligarch had become a footballing emperor, rewriting the rules of ownership and ambition in the Premier League. Chelsea's transformation was just beginning, and the world was watching to see how far Abramovich's vision and his club could go. Abramovich's Chelsea era was nothing short of dominant. From the moment he arrived, the club was transformed both on and off the pitch, with a new sense of ambition and expectation. In just his second season, Chelsea won their first league title in 50 years, breaking records along the way. The team's relentless drive and newfound confidence made them a force to be reckoned with in English football. The club quickly established itself as a dynasty, winning back-to-back titles and filling the trophy cabinet with 21 major honours. Each season brought new silverware, from FA Cups to League Cups, and the hunger for success only grew. The crowning achievement came in 2012, a dramatic Champions League victory in Munich, a night etched in football history. Nearly a decade later, Chelsea lifted the trophy again in 2021, cementing their place among Europe's elite. Abramovich's formula was simple: invest heavily, demand results, and change managers if success stalled. This ruthless pursuit of excellence became the club's trademark, setting new standards in the Premier League. Critics questioned the high turnover, but the results spoke for themselves. Under Abramovich, Chelsea became synonymous with winning, regardless of the cost or controversy. Over 19 years, he poured £1.5 billion into the club, subsidizing its rise to global superpower status. The investment reshaped Chelsea's identity, attracting world-class talent and building a brand recognized worldwide. For Chelsea fans, he was the benefactor who gave them everything. Generations of supporters witnessed a transformation they could only have dreamed of before his arrival. The club's transformation from London curiosity to European powerhouse was complete. Chelsea was now a name that struck fear and respect across the continent. Abramovich's legacy was one of relentless ambition and unprecedented success, forever altering the landscape of English football and inspiring a new era of ownership. But the story was about to take a dramatic turn, as events off the pitch would soon challenge everything Chelsea had built. For years, Abramovich thrived in the West, his Kremlin ties rarely affecting his London life. That changed in February 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine and the world's attention turned to oligarchs like him. Suddenly, Oligarch became a target, not just a title. The UK government moved swiftly, sanctioning Abramovich, freezing his assets and imposing a travel ban. Authorities cited his close relationship with Putin and alleged financial benefits from the regime. Evraz, his steel company, was accused of supplying materials to the Russian military. Overnight, Abramovich went from celebrated owner to sanctioned pariah. His Western empire, centered on Chelsea and luxury properties, was brought to a halt. The sanctions were designed to isolate him and send a message. The old rules no longer applied. Abramovich's two worlds collided, and he found himself on the losing side. The game had changed forever. Sanctions threw Chelsea FC into chaos, frozen assets, restricted operations, and an uncertain future. Realizing he had no choice, Abramovich announced he would sell the club, pledging not to reclaim his £1.5 billion in loans and promising sale proceeds to victims of the war in Ukraine. A frantic bidding war ensued, overseen by the UK government as billionaires and consortiums vied for the club. The government's priority ensured Abramovich received nothing from the sale. In May 2022, a consortium led by Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital bought Chelsea for £4.25 billion, just before the club's license expired. The sale marked the end of Abramovich's reign, a stunning, complicated finale to his 19-year legacy. Chelsea entered a new, uncertain era. The man who built a footballing empire was forced to walk away. His legacy, once defined by glory, was now shadowed by geopolitics. For Chelsea, the future was suddenly unpredictable. Sanctions didn't just target Abramovich's reputation, they struck at his fortune. Once worth £13 billion, his wealth was slashed as assets were frozen or sold off. Super yachts sailed to avoid seizure, and his access to Western finance vanished. By August 2023, his net worth had dropped to £5.6 billion, though some recovery followed as assets outside Western reach remained intact. The Chelsea sale proceeds, £2.50 billion, remain frozen, tangled in political and legal disputes. The money, promised for war victims, sits in limbo, a monument to the complexities of international sanctions. Despite massive losses, Abramovich remains a billionaire, but his Western empire is gone. The sanctions were powerful but not absolute. His fall from grace is etched in frozen assets and unfinished promises. As sanctions hit, new allegations surfaced linking Abramovich's business to Russia's war effort. Reuters reported that Evraz, where he held a major stake, supplied toluene, a key TNT ingredient, to a Russian explosives factory tied to the military. Evraz claimed the shipments were for civilian use, but the destination raised doubts. The reports suggested Abramovich's companies were still entangled in the machinery of war, complicating his image as a neutral party. The shadow of conflict now followed his fortune. Abramovich's name soon surfaced in another controversy: alleged interference in Moldova's 2024 elections. Moldovan intelligence accused him of supporting a pro-Kremlin plot to disrupt a key referendum and presidential vote. Reports claimed he met with fugitive oligarch Ilan Shor and financed destabilization efforts. A former Chelsea executive was named as a key operative in the campaign. The plot failed, but the episode deepened suspicions about Abramovich's role in Russia's geopolitical strategy. His post-sanctions life was now marked by intrigue and suspicion. Today, Abramovich lives in exile. His public life vanished and his reputation forever changed. Sanctioned in the UK and much of Europe, he remains a billionaire but is now a figure in the shadows. He holds Portuguese citizenship, making him the wealthiest person in Portugal, a peculiar twist for a sanctioned oligarch. Chelsea, under new ownership, has struggled to recapture its former glory, highlighting the void left by his departure. Abramovich's journey, from Soviet orphan to London kingpin to sanctioned exile, is a cautionary tale of power, ambition, and the perils of geopolitics. His legacy is now a complex mix of triumph and controversy. The story of Roman Abramovich stands as one of the most dramatic rises and falls of our time. The final chapter remains unwritten.